A large number of city dwellers, like myself, love to go away into the forest every now and then, just to get away from it all. But what we actually experience there is only as much as our urban habits allow us to. We find a clean, secluded spot and we picnic there, and we imagine that we have experienced the forest. For most of us, the forest is only the sound of the wind in the leaves and the singing of the birds. But that is not the whole story. This week, on Living on the Edge, let us take a look at what the forest is really like.
About 10% of the land area of the country remains under dense forests. Ecologists say it is important for 33% of a country's land to be forested. Forests are home to wildlife, act as oxygen factories, and is the last remaining source of biodiversity.
It was only when India stepped into the satellite age that we began to see the big picture with any degree of authenticity. The eye in the sky could not lie. It told us that our forests, famous the world over, about whose beauty entire books have been written, actually covered just about 10% of our total land area. How on earth did this happen?
सलाम तबारक का जल जलाले को राम रब्बाना जिक्र का में बनाता कर अपना तकब्बल दुआ भी नहीं ना कसम अलीम तो बोले नहीं का तवाब रहीम सुभान रब्बिल इज्जत मा सफून सलामुन अल मुरसलीन अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन.
The Palamo Tiger Reserve, which is supposed to be a highly protected place, is being mercilessly plundered for its flora and fauna. With me today are Omar and Salim, two of the Forest Department's most faithful workers. We spend the day with them as they valiantly try to fight a losing battle. Muhammad Omar Ansari and Muhammad Salim Ansari are two of the Tiger Reserve's 125 trekkers. From sunrise to sunset, they walk the forest looking for signs the untrained eye cannot see. It is solely on their acumen, skills and motivation that the welfare of Palamo's plants and animals lies.
बीस साल पहले बाघ 12 को था बेतला में, उनके छोड़ करके 65 बाघ था यहाँ से, अब महुआ डांड अब कोजरम मोजरम सगर लेके 65 बाघ था. आज बेतले में देखिए न, आज 2 बाघ बचा है.
The forest is huge and full of riches. Apart from timber, it contains one of the last remaining Khair forests in the country. Khair yields katha, which gives the red color to pan. A single kilogram of katha fetches thousands of rupees on the market. The Palamau Tiger Reserve is crawling with Naxalites. Smuggling katha out of the forest is a lucrative business for them. The forest appears to be anybody's for the taking. Officials stopped patrolling the forest after one of their jeeps was blown up in a landmine.
इससे तो मुकाबला करना हथियार लेकर मुश्किल है. उनसे प्रेम के साथ ही मुकाबला किया जा सकता है. उनके पास 46 है, 57 है, बड़े बड़े हथियार लोग हैं. हमारा अफसरों से उन लोगों को कोई दुश्मनी नहीं है.
After February 16th, we have not acted against katha smugglers.
Ever since that day, it's up to the trekkers to protect the forest. But how can Omar's axe and Salim's thin cane match the guns and knives of the timber thieves?
10 को चोर लोग आए डकैत ने, बस पहले तो हमारा मौली साहब के मारे, हुमच लाठी, एक लाठी मारे तो मौलवी साहब कहे हाय हो बाबा जान बचाओ, और वहाँ से साला आया फिर हमारा मारा एक लाठी हुमच के, अब हम कहते हाय हो दादा आप जान बचाओ।
चोर लोग सागवान काट रहा था, हम लोग उन लोग को चोर टॉर्च दिखाकर भगा दिया और रेंज अफसर को खबर किया। यहाँ से रेंज अफसर गए तो उनको उतरने का हिम्मत नहीं हुआ घटना स्थल पर, पुनः वापस हो गए फोर्स लेने, फोर्स लेके गए तो अभी वहाँ उतरने का किसी का हिम्मत नहीं हुआ।
No, that's absolutely total lie.
The Naxalites do not fell the trees themselves. Instead, they offer protection to the villagers who live inside the park and take a cut of the profits.
Extremists are taking cut. They are taking 20 rupees per day per chulha from that area. So if somebody is having 5 chulhas running, so they are taking 100 rupees from that man as their cut.
There are 98 villages inside the park and 188 in and around a 5-kilometer radius of the park. Nearly 40,000 people inhabit them. Their cattle graze in the park and compete with herbivores. The entire firewood needs come from inside the park. There are many reasons to turn against the forest department and side with the Naxalites.
मैं सहमत हूँ इससे आपको एकदम। उनके विकास अगर हो गए होते तो जंगल पर इतनी निर्भरता नहीं रहती है, जंगल इतना।
लेकिन इस विषय पे कुछ करना आपका कर्तव्य नहीं है, आप तो मंत्री हैं।
नहीं कर रहे हैं हम लोग, हम लोग कर रहे हैं। उनके बीच हमारा अभी लगभग 2000 के लगभग हमारी कमेटियां बन चुकी है।
While officials stay cooped up in their cozy homes 25 kilometers away from the forest in Daltonganj, thieves have a free run. Kher trees are selectively felled, their bark stripped, and the katha loaded onto trains passing through the tiger reserve in full glare of the public eye.
चोरी छुपे जंगल कटते हैं, उसको आप क्यों नहीं रोक पाते?
उसमें तो अब चोरी छिपी तो उसमें माफिया लोगों का कुछ हाथ रहता है, ये बात सही है।
तो आप तो सरकार है, आपके पास तो पावर्स हैं, आप तो पुलिस को भी रिक्विजिशन कर सकते हैं।
हाँ, पावर असल बात ये है इसमें, आपको हम कहे कि गरीबी जो विकास वहां से नहीं हुआ, वो तो असल चोरी कराता है भूखमरी और बेरोजगारी।
It's not just trees that are felled. The park's animals too are being poached.
Are animals being killed in your park? Are trees being felled in your park?
Yes.
The reserve is starved of funds. There is no petrol for the park's vehicles. Worse still, Omar, Salim and 123 other trekkers have not been paid for 12 months.
महाजन से लेके खाते हैं, अब कहते हैं सामान नहीं देंगे, अब क्या खाएगा?
परिवार के लिए कैसी खर्च करेंगे, कैसी जिएंगे वो?
हाँ, उसमें योजना की स्वीकृति भी होती है, उसकी स्वीकृति भी भारतीय सरकार करता है।
लेकिन आप इनसे काम भी लेते हैं, बराबर 12 महीने ये काम करते आ रहे हैं।
हाँ, अब काम करते आ रहे हैं, हम लोग उनके कठिनाई को समझते हैं, मैं समझता हूँ कि अब उनको कठिनाई नहीं होगी।
Against the odds, our indomitable trekkers plod on. Today's rounds have yielded a pug mark of a tiger. The tiger came to drink water at the pool. Omar and Salim painstakingly make a tracing for the record. The pug mark is a sure sign that the tiger is alive. Tomorrow, it could be gone. So could Omar and Salim. They are on the verge of starvation. But as long as they continue to wander about the forest, there is hope for the plants and animals living there.
The part of the landless, displaced villager from Bihar, which I played in the film Par, is as distanced from my own experience as it is possible to be. My own family came from the other side of the fence, and as a child, I have witnessed the ill treatment meted out to laborers like those. I was always able to empathize with them. Luckily for me, in the film, I only had to play the part of a landless, displaced person. What it is really like to be penniless and displaced is something that is difficult to imagine. All across the country, we have large tribal populations whose only source of livelihood is the forests. So when you cut off their access to the forests, you are cutting off their lifeline. What we need to look at is ways in which people and forests can live harmoniously. Not an easy task, but is it at all possible?
Anwar Bibi is a Gujar tribeswoman who lives within the premises of the Rajaji National Park in Uttar Pradesh. Here she keeps her herd of cattle and ekes out a living. For centuries, the Gujars were nomads. In the summer months, they lived high in the Himalayas. In winter, they brought their flock to these very forests to graze. Around the turn of the century, the Gujars began to settle permanently in the forests here. The forest officials permitted them to chop leaves from certain trees for feeding their flocks. Over the years, the Gujars grew in numbers, so did their cattle. The pressure began to tell on the forest lands. Nearly 1500 kilometers to the southwest of the Rajaji National Park lie the Gir forests. The region is home to the Maldhari tribals. Like the Gujars of Uttar Pradesh, the Maldharis are also cattle rearers. Their flocks graze in these forests and compete for fodder with the wild herbivores that live here. Over time, the population of the Maldharis has soared. Like everyone else, the Maldharis too aspire to a better lifestyle. They realize that in order to make more money, they need to make more milk. The Asian elephant once roamed over most parts of India. Today its habitat has shrunk to a few pockets like the Rajaji National Park. The elephant is a huge beast with an enormous appetite. It eats for 16 hours every day. The elephants living in the Rajaji National Park find themselves sharing scant resources with herds of Gujar cattle. And this is not the end of their woes. When the water holes run dry and food becomes scarce, the elephant migrates to greener regions. The forests, however, are no longer contiguous. Human settlements have made inroads into them. Like many sanctuaries are home to the elephant, the Gir National Park is the last refuge of the Asiatic lion. In 1912, there were only 20 Asiatic lions left alive in the wild. Since then, a Herculean effort has been made at lion conservation. Consequently, they number over 3,000 now. The picture, however, is not all rosy. As the park has reached its carrying capacity, a conflict has been brewing. A key problem is that the livestock of the Maldharis and the wild herbivores of Gir are competing for the same forest resources. But there simply isn't enough to sustain everyone. The herbivores are the natural prey base of the lions. As their numbers fall short, the lions attack the Maldhari cattle. In certain years, the lions have killed over 1,600 cattle. The Maldharis are angered at their steep financial losses. From about 269 million at the turn of the century, India's population has shot up to over 900 million today. As the need for land and forest resources has grown, our green cover has shrunk to barely 10% of our total land area. Of this, national parks, sanctuaries and other protected forests that shelter animals are not even 5%. Countless species, including the lion and the elephant, are endangered, which means that their numbers are near extinction. The crucial question is, should they then share their meager portion of the forests with human beings? In 1997, the Supreme Court of India was posed this question. It responded by giving the state governments a year's time to settle the rights of people living in protected forests. This may be the last ray of hope for India's wildlife.
Let us see if we can get a definite answer on some of the questions raised.
Mr. Sharma, why is forest cover in India diminishing so fast?
This is a simple question of demand and supply. If we have to supply 200 million tons of firewood and the availability is about 90 million tons, then 110 will be overfed.
Who is responsible for the destruction of the forest today?
The people who are far from the forest are doing more destruction because they are interested in economic gains. But the contribution of the local communities, because of their increasing number on destruction of forests, cannot be totally ignored.
In places like Rajaji and the Gir forest, the elephant and the lion is being threatened by the presence of people. Can't people and animals live together?
Gujars are responsible for heavy lopping of sal trees. And
they were given permission by the forest department at a certain point of time to do a certain bit of lopping.
But that time their number was limited.
When will they move out of the forest and be resettled?
They are not going out because there are other people whose livelihood is linked by instigating these people not to settle.
Being in the government, can't you tackle the people who are responsible for the state of affairs?
No, because in a democratic country, you can't quieten everybody by force.
Are politicians responsible for this?
Who is the main boss of the country? These are the politicians. And the politicians, if when you go for elections, there is no ban on timber mafia or encroacher not being elected as minister or not being elected as MP.
Why can't the forest department act against this timber mafia? You have rules, you have laws. Why can't you take action?
Mr. Romil, you have to remember one thing, that I can enforce only if I am properly equipped. Have you seen your Palamau Park? What the people have got. Now the time has come when the government should equip the range officers with jeeps, with mobiles.
Have you approached the government for adequate funds?
It is taking time. It is under consideration.
Mr. Sharma, do you think the forest department has been a failure?
I can say under the circumstances, the pressure, the resources available to us, the forest department has done very well.
In the final analysis, when do you think the decline in forest cover will be arrested?
When this country decides that the population will not increase, when the country decides that adequate resources are given to the department, and when the country decides that adequate protection is provided to the officers of this, not officers, even functionaries of this department, then the situation will reverse.
I'm now going to introduce you to a group of people who live in the forests of Bihar and are armed only with the firm belief that they can help save their forests.
अगर बिना पूछी जंगल में हेल के काट दीजिएगा तो 500 रुपया फाइन लगेगा और 50 जूता पिटाइएगा।
50 जूता और 500 रुपया नहीं सह सकता है, उसको हम लोग बार काटेंगे, ढोल मंगाएंगे बाजा, उसके लिए बजाएंगे और पूरा गांव में पूरा घुराएंगे, पूरा जंगल जंगल।
The people of Kerikala village in Palamau district of Bihar were once so poor that they couldn't pay for guards to patrol their forest. But their determination was such that each family set aside 3 measures of rice as payment in kind for the guards. The Kerikala saga began when 2 young men, Manoj Kumar Singh and Jawahar Mehta, convinced villagers that it was quite easy to transform lives. Let's build check dams and you shall have water throughout the year. But when the dams were built, there was no water.
फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट यहाँ पे ठेकेदार को लगा दिया, इसको साफ करो और टेंडर कर दिया इसको, और ठेकेदार
लोगों को पैसा दे, यहीं के लोगों से कटवा दिया, साफ कर दिया पूरा जंगल को।
With most of the tree cover gone, there was nothing to retain water in the soil. What green cover remained was disappearing fast.
हम लोग ने कहा कि क्या आप अंदाज लगाते हैं कि 10 साल बाद और क्या स्थिति हो सकता है? तो इन लोगों ने समझा कि 10 साल बाद तो जैसे निरंतर कटाई जारी है, हमको कुछ भी नहीं मिलेगा।
Just 2 years of protection have made the forest thick enough for wild animals to return.
पेड़ हम लोग नहीं काटे, वो बढ़ जाएगा तो उससे जलावन भी हो जाएगा। जलावन हो जाएगा, उसको छांट देंगे, तनखी उनकी छांट देने के बाद जलावन हो जाएगा, और मोटा मोटा जो अज बच जाएगा वो हम लोग मकान में लगाएंगे।
It's a humble beginning, but the villagers of Kerekala have given themselves, the animals and the ecosystem a new lease of life.
We may all not be able to do what these people are doing, but even learning to respect the environment and conserving what we can is a beginning, a first step. Let's take it.
कहा कि क्या आप अंदाज लगाते हैं कि 10 साल बाद और क्या स्थिति हो सकता है? तो इन लोगों ने समझा कि 10 साल बाद तो जैसे निरंतर कटाई जारी है, हमको कुछ भी नहीं मिलेगा।
Just 2 years of protection have made the forest thick enough for wild animals to return.
पेड़ हम लोग नहीं काटे, वो बढ़ जाएगा तो उससे जलावन भी हो जाएगा। जलावन हो जाएगा, उसको छांट देंगे, तनखी उनकी छांट देने के बाद जलावन हो जाएगा, और मोटा मोटा जो अज बच जाएगा वो हम लोग मकान में लगाएंगे।
It's a humble beginning, but the villagers of Kerekala have given themselves, the animals and the ecosystem a new lease of life.
We may all not be able to do what these people are doing, but even learning to respect the environment and conserving what we can is a beginning, a first step. Let's take it.